there has been total colony failure, colony collapse, tons and tons of dead seabirds washing up on the shores in Alaska. So how the birds fit into the Arctic food web is going to differ depending on which species of bird we're talking about, since some of them are eating things like bivalves and some of them are eating fish. So it's going to differ a little bit where they are in the food web. We also have a lot of birds that are also eating vegetation. So we really have a lot of different places in the food web. There is some change in the prey composition in the benthic area. There's also a real change in ice. It stops being ice covered all the time. Before, the way the ecosystem worked is you would get algae on the bottom of the ice, which would die and drop down. And sort of that's how the food web started. And if we don't have ice covered waters, it completely changes how that food web works.
The kind of typical life pattern of your benthic organisms is that they're sitting there waiting for food particles to kind of float down or rain down on them. These particles are dead bits of animal or waste, and so the life on the seabed, they are natural recyclers making use of what might otherwise be waste particles. But then those things that take this detritus and eat it are then eaten by other animals.
Common eaters and also king eaters are marine birds, and they spend almost 95% of their life at sea, completely away from the coastline. And they're diving all the way down to the bottom, to the benthic, and they're eating like bivalves, they're eating mollusks, and they're eating urchins. So they're diving all the way down to the bottom. And there is some concern that there's been a population switch between what varieties of bivalves are available to them and how easy they are to digest and what the nutritional value is. It seems that there are some not so preferable bivalves kind of moving into their areas, probably due to warmer ocean conditions. There is a ton of concern about forage fish in northern Alaska because we have these very big seabird colonies such as puffins and fulmars, and there are Murres, and they feed on forage fish. And that's like little fish, about this big usually. The problem is with the warming ocean, especially what has been called the blob in the North Pacific, it appears it is driving these fish too deep for the birds to die. And it seems the most likely reason is the very warm water in the Pacific. And also there used to be in the summertime a pool of cold water dividing the Bering Sea from the Chukchi and keeping the warm water fish species out of the northern Arctic waters. And that has gone away in recent years. And that is allowing the southern species to move into the Arctic, drive out the species of fish that the birds up there are used to preying on, and has been really catastrophic for the seabird colonies.